A lone traveler stands on a jagged limestone cliff, silhouette framed against a rising sun that paints the sky in bruised purples and burnt oranges. Lush hibiscus flowers tremble in the salt-laden breeze, their vibrant red petals a sharp contrast to the deep teal of the horizon. Ishigaki is not merely a geographic coordinate. It is a concept of refined isolation where the luxury of space becomes ultimate currency. Welcome to the sanctuary. A sleek, minimalist private car winds through a tunnel of emerald green sugarcane fields, the light flickering through the stalks like a vintage film reel. In the distance, the rugged peaks of Mount Omoto rise like emerald giants guarding the island's secrets. The driver's gloved hand adjusts the climate control as the scent of sea salt and blooming jasmine fills the cabin. This is the journey, a transition from the frantic pace of the mainland to the slow-motion pulse of the Yaeyama Islands. Come here to strip away the digital noise and replace it with the tactile reality of the elements. The purpose is simple: to find where the luxury of man ends and the majesty of nature begins. The gates of a private luxury villa swing open to reveal a limestone courtyard where water trickles down a hand-carved stone wall. The architecture is a seamless blend of Okinawan tradition and ultra-modern glass, reflecting the swaying palm trees in its polished surfaces. Inside, the floor is made of cool, reclaimed teak that feels like silk under bare feet. The air inside is perfumed with white ginger and the faint, sweet scent of the ocean, just yards away. This is not just a room, but a fortress of tranquility built for reclamation. A personal butler pours a glass of chilled, locally sourced pineapple-infused water, the ice clinking musically against the crystal. The infinity pool seems to spill directly into the cerulean maw of the East China Sea. Sunlight dances on the water's surface, creating a mosaic of diamonds that dazzles the eyes. The butler bows slightly, his presence as discreet as a shadow. The sun hangs high and heavy, turning the shallow coral lagoons into a kaleidoscope of neon blues and pale turquoises. A traditional red-tiled roof of a nearby village peeks through the jungle canopy, guarded by stone shisa lions with their mouths agape. High above, a crested serpent eagle circles in the thermal vents, its cry a lonely, haunting melody. The island is beginning to work its magic. The shoreline of Kabira Bay, where the water is so clear it looks like liquid glass suspended over white satin. Traditional glass-bottom boats drift over massive cabbage corals, their shadows dancing on the seafloor. The sand here is famous for being shaped like tiny stars, a microscopic marvel hidden beneath. The warm tide swirling around like a silk scarf. The beauty is almost overwhelming, a sensory overload of perfect that feels surreal. Later that evening, the villa's terrace is bathed in the golden hour's amber glow as a private chef prepares Ishigaki Wagyu over an open flame. The fat renders and sizzles, sending a rich, savory aroma into the twilight air that makes the mouth water. The chef explains the lineage of the cattle, raised on the mineral-rich grass of the island's northern pastures. This is the pinnacle of island gastronomy, a fusion of earth, fire, and sea. The indulgence is not just in the taste, but in the time taken to craft it. The intricate marbling of the steak. The meat melts on the tongue, a symphony of umami that seems to ground to the volcanic soil of the island. The forest begins its nocturnal chorus, a hum of cicadas and the rustle of night breezes. The luxury here isn't loud, it's a whisper that commands absolute attention. Night falls, and the sky transforms into a velvet canvas dusted with more stars. The Milky Way is a vivid, shimmering river of light that cuts directly across the zenith of Ishigaki. Lie back on a plush outdoor daybed, the sound of the surf acting as a metronome for heartbeat. There is no light pollution here, only the ancient glow of dead stars guiding thoughts into the deep past. This is the spiritual setup, the moment where the island begins to peel back layers. Tomorrow, the adventure intensifies, but tonight, on a spinning planet. The morning arrives with the sound of a sanshin, a three-stringed Okinawan lute, being played by a local musician in the distance. The music is bittersweet and twangy, echoing off the limestone walls and mingling with the chirping of tropical birds. The light filtering through the linen curtains is soft and milky, promising a day of exploration. Onto a private yacht, its white hull gleaming as it cuts through the sapphire chop of the outer reef. The captain, a weather-beaten man with a kind smile, points toward the horizon where the ocean changes from navy to a bright, electric neon. The boat's engines hum a low, powerful vibration. The vastness of the ocean is intimidating, yet its call is irresistible. As the yacht anchors, it dives underwater to show the sheer scale of the coral gardens below, a sprawling metropolis of polyps and fans. Thousands of tiny, neon-blue damselfish scatter, like living confetti at the approach of the boat's shadow. The water is a cathedral of light, with sunbeams piercing the surface, like divine fingers reaching for the sand. The air is hot and still, the only sound being the gentle slap of water against the hull. Roll backward into the water, and the world goes silent, replaced by the rhythmic, mechanical sound of own breathing through the regulator. The transition is instant. The heat of the sun is replaced by the cool, weightless embrace of the Pacific. Descend slowly, watching the bubbles race toward the surface like silver pearls. The coral reef looms below, a riot of orange, purple, and yellow that defies the limits of a color palette. Glide over a massive table coral, where a sea turtle is resting. The reef is a busy highway of life, with parrotfish crunching on coral and anemones waving their lethal, beautiful arms. Gently toward a deeper trench, where the water turns a darker, more mysterious shade of indigo, nature is never truly tamed, even in a luxury destination like Ishigaki. A hidden underwater cave, its entrance draped in long, flowing sea fans that look like lace. Inside, the water is perfectly still, a secret sanctuary within the sanctuary. A group of translucent glass shrimp dancing on a rock, their tiny bodies glowing in your flashlight's beam. A sudden movement in the distance, a massive, dark shape moving with haunting grace. It's not a shark, but something much larger and more ethereal, a phantom of the deep, the manta scramble, a famous cleaning station for these giants. The anticipation is electric, a physical vibration that travels through the water. Approaching the cleaning station, the sky above the surface suddenly darkens, and the light underwater turns a moody, metallic gray. A sudden thermocline hits, a wall of cold water that makes shiver inside suit. Realize that the perfect weather of the morning was a mask for a brewing tropical squall. The island is no longer catering to comfort. It is showing its teeth. The current reverses, becoming a surging force that threatens to pull away from the reef. The serene ballet of the ocean has turned into a chaotic struggle for position. The manta rays in the distance, but they aren't dancing. They are hovering, seemingly waiting for the storm's energy to pass. Feel a flash of vulnerability, a realization that luxury villa and status mean nothing to the surging Pacific. Grab onto a dead piece of rock, anchoring against the pull of the sea, and stop fighting. Focus on breath, slow, steady, and deep, just as during meditation at the villa. The fear begins to transmute into a strange, exhilarating clarity as watching the chaos around. Suddenly, the light breaks through the surface again in brilliant, localized shafts, creating a God ray effect that illuminates the manta rays. They begin to move toward, unfazed by the turbulence, their massive wingspans stretching up to 7 meters. They glide over, so close can see the unique patterns on their white bellies. Their movement is the definition of effortless, a masterclass in harmony with the environment. A close-up of a manta ray's eye as it passes, a look of ancient, cosmic intelligence that seems to see right through you. The ray performs a slow, looping backflip, a barrel roll, that looks like a dance for the gods. Multiple rays join the first, creating a swirling vortex of black and white wings that fill your entire field of vision. It's a manta train, a rare and spectacular display of social behavior that leaves breathless. The water is thick with the energy of these magnificent creatures. The island has delivered its greatest treasure, but it required to face the storm first. As the rays eventually glide back into the deep blue, the water returns to its calm, sapphire state. In the fresh, salt-tinged air, the sun now shining brighter than ever. The yacht heads back to shore, the wake behind it a trail of white foam against the darkening sea. The jungle looks deeper, the mountains more majestic, and the air feels charged with a new significance. Back at the villa, the sunset is a masterpiece of crimson and gold, reflecting in the still water of your infinity pool. The silence of the villa is no longer empty. It is full of the memories of the day's adventure. It provides the space necessary to process the magnitude of the wild. A small wooden table, where a bowl of local sea salt and a single orchid sit. A handful of the salt, feeling its coarse, mineral texture, a literal piece of the ocean. A final dinner is served on the beach, a simple but elegant spread of grilled fish, local vegetables, and awamori, the island's potent, aged rice spirit. The sand is cool, a small figure against the vast, starlit beach, a tiny point of light in the darkness. The image is one of total harmony, a human being finally in sync with their environment. Ishigaki has served as the catalyst for this realization. The journey is coming to its natural, beautiful end. One last walk through the villa's lush gardens, touching the leaves of the banyan trees. The specific scent of the wet earth, the intricate patterns of a spider's web, carrying the island with, tucked away in the quiet corners of mind. Standing at the airport's small terminal, looking out at the runway that cuts through the sugarcane fields. Wearing a simple linen shirt, skin tanned and eyes bright with a new clarity. People rush past, but remain still, a pocket of calm in the transition. The concept of Ishigaki as a sanctuary is now a part of personal mythology. As the plane takes off, looks down at the island, which shrinks until it is a green emerald set in a ring of turquoise and deep sapphire. See the reef where dove, the white speck of a yacht, and the rugged mountains explored. The perspective from above reinforces the island's isolation and its preciousness. It is a world apart, a sanctuary that exists. How the modern world tries to drown out the soul, but Ishigaki offers a way back to the surface. Reaffirm that travel is the only thing that makes richer, especially when it involves the raw elements of nature. A single, manta ray's wing breaking the surface of the water for a split second. It's a final gift from the island, a reminder of the magic that exists just beneath the surface. The image is hauntingly beautiful, a symbol of grace and hidden power. This is the enduring legacy of Ishigaki. A quick montage of the journey. The first sunset, the sizzle of the Wagyu, the dark storm underwater, and the dance of the mantas. It's a life lived in a week, a condensed epic of the human spirit. The pacing is fast, rhythmic, and exhilarating, a heartbeat of memory. The story is winding down, but the impact is just beginning. A close-up of the star-shaped sand grains, each one a tiny miracle of geometry. Ishigaki is the mirror that reflects that original self. The luxury was the frame. The nature was the art. The villa's empty terrace, the curtains blowing gently in the wind, a half-full glass of wine left on the table. It's a scene of beautiful abandonment, suggesting that the guest has moved on to a better version of themselves. The island continues its slow, ancient rhythm, indifferent to the departure, but changed by the encounter. The Shisa lions continue their eternal watch over their red-tiled roofs. The sound of the ocean waves returns, louder and more immersive than at the beginning. It's the sound of the world's heartbeat, the original music of the planet. The Milky Way over the island, the stars so bright they seem to vibrate.